Right now, there is a glass sitting in your kitchen cabinet that you believe is clean. You washed it, you dried it, and it still came out foggy, wrapped in a thin gray film that will not wipe away no matter how hard you rub it. So you did what almost everyone does. You decided the glass was old, you decided it was ruined, and somewhere in the back of your mind, you started planning to replace the whole set. But that cloudiness is not dirt, and in most cases, it is not damage either. In Japan, that exact same fog gets erased in about 20 minutes using a powder that costs almost nothing. So why does the rest of the world keep throwing perfectly good drinking glasses in the trash? To understand the fix, you first have to understand what that cloud actually is, because you have been lied to about it your entire life. When a glass turns cloudy, your instinct says it is filthy. So you scrub harder, you run it through the dishwasher again, you reach for stronger soap. And every single one of those moves either does nothing or makes the problem worse. Because that film is not food and it is not grime. It is one of two things, and they could not be more different. The first kind is a mineral deposit. Your tap water carries dissolved calcium and magnesium, and every time water dries on glass, it leaves those minerals behind as a chalky white layer of calcium carbonate. Bake that on with the heat of a dishwasher, cycle after cycle, and you get a stubborn fog that ordinary dish soap will never touch. That kind is completely reversible. The second kind is an etching, and this one is permanent. When soft water mixes with a harsh alkaline detergent and the scalding heat of a drying cycle, that combination actually strips microscopic silica off the surface of the glass itself. The glass is not coated. It is corroded. And here is the cruel part. The machine you trusted to clean your glasses is often the exact thing that destroyed them. It got worse about 15 years ago when detergent makers pulled phosphates out of their formulas for environmental reasons. Phosphates used to soften the water and protect the glass inside the machine. The reformulated powders that replaced them lean harder on aggressive alkaline cleaners, and on a soft water supply with no minerals to buffer them, those cleaners go looking for something to react with, and they find the silica in your glass. So a change you never voted on in a box you never read has been slowly fogging kitchens for a decade. So the world reaches for replacement, but the Japanese reach for restoration, and the reason is rooted in something deeper than cleaning. There is a principle in Japanese culture called motai inai, a quiet sense of regret over waste, the feeling that throwing away something still useful is almost shameful. A cloudy glass is not garbage to be replaced. It is an object that fell out of care and needs to be brought back. That mindset shows up in the way a tea master treats a vessel, in the way a household keeps the same glassware for decades, looking like the day it was bought. Japan also runs largely on soft water, so descaling and gentle restoration became everyday knowledge long ago. And it all centers on one humble white powder that sits in nearly every Japanese kitchen. It is called kuuensan, which simply means citric acid, and it is the quiet workhorse behind sparkling kettles, clear pitchers, and immaculate glasses all across the country. But before you grab anything, you have to run one test first, because using the wrong method on the wrong cloud is exactly how people waste an entire afternoon and conclude their glasses are hopeless. Take the foggy glass and put a single drop of white vinegar on the cloudy area. Wait about 30 seconds, then wipe it. If the spot turns clear, even briefly, you have a mineral deposit and you are about to win. If the spot stays exactly as dull as before, that is etching. And no soak on earth will reverse it, because there is nothing sitting on top to dissolve. This 30-second test tells you whether you are restoring a glass or wasting your time, and almost nobody does it. Sometimes a glass carries both at once, mineral film over a faint etch, and that is fine. The soak lifts everything it can, and whatever haze remains is the glass showing its true condition. Now for the method the rest of this video is built around. If your test came back clear, here is the Japanese citric acid soak. Fill a basin or a large bowl with warm water, not boiling, just warm enough to dissolve the powder fast, because high heat can crack a cold glass and the chemistry does not need it. And here is the ratio worth memorizing, because it is the whole formula. 2 tablespoons of citric acid for every quart of warm water. Stir it until the powder vanishes. Go weaker than that, and the mineral barely loosens. Go stronger, and you are spending powder on a job that does not need it. 2 tablespoons to the quart is the line that works. Lower your cloudy glasses incompletely, making sure the solution reaches every fog surface, and let them sit. The acid reacts with the calcium carbonate directly, breaking the mineral into compounds that dissolve in water and lift cleanly off the glass without a single scratch. You may even see the faintest fizz as it works, and the clock matters more than you would think. 15 minutes dissolves a light haze completely. A full 60 minutes is the number for years of baked-on calcium, with 1 gentle swirl at the halfway mark. Then pull a glass out, rinse it under cool water, and watch a fog you assumed was permanent simply run down the drain. No scrubbing, no abrasive pads, just chemistry doing the work your elbow never could. If you do not keep citric acid in the house, plain white vinegar is the everyday substitute because it carries acetic acid that attacks the same mineral film. The formula changes only slightly. Equal parts vinegar and water warmed, and a longer soak of a full 30 minutes. It works slower and smells sharper, but on a light haze, it gets the job done with something already in your pantry. For the stubborn rims and the cloudy bases where deposits cake the thickest, there is a gentle scrub the Japanese kitchen leans on. Cut a lemon in half, dip the cut side in fine salt, and work it over the worst areas in slow circles. The citric acid in the lemon dissolves the mineral while the salt grains lift the loosened film, and because salt is far softer than glass, it polishes instead of scratching. It is the old, patient version of the same idea, and it reaches the corners a soak sometimes misses. There's also the glass that is fogged for a different reason. The coffee tumbler or the juice glass wearing a greasy, dull haze on top of the mineral film. Acid alone will not cut grease, so you handle that layer first. Make a loose paste of baking soda and a little water, wipe it gently around the inside, and rinse. The mild abrasion of the baking soda lifts the oily residue, and then your citric soak can reach the mineral underneath. Just do the 2 steps in order and rinse between them. Never mix together, because an acid and a base cancel each other out and you would be left with neither one working. If you are finding this useful, take a second to subscribe, because this channel breaks down the quiet Japanese methods for fixing the things most people throw away. Now here is the step that separates a glass that stays clear from one that fogs up all over again. And it is the part almost everyone skips. It is the drying. Think about why the glasses at a good restaurant gleam under the light while yours go dull in a week. It comes down to one habit. Someone pulls each glass out while it is still warm and wipes it down with a clean, lint-free cloth before a single drop of water can dry on the surface and leave its minerals behind. Air drying is what plants the next cloud. The water sits, it evaporates, and the calcium stays. For a flawless finish, a final wipe with a little rubbing alcohol flashes off instantly and leaves no streak. So the Japanese habit is simple. Dry the glass the moment it leaves the water, by hand, every time, and the fog never gets the chance to form. Which brings us to the mistakes that are quietly ruining your glasses right now, even after you clean them. The first is cranking the dishwasher to its hottest setting. That heat is the accelerant behind etching, and on soft water, it does irreversible damage with every cycle. The second is overloading on detergent. More soap does not mean cleaner glass. The excess alkaline residue clings to the surface and adds its own haze, and it is harsher on the silica too. The third is skipping rinse-aid. Rinse-aid is not a luxury upsell. It breaks the surface tension of water so it sheets off the glass instead of beading and drying into spots. The fourth is letting clean glasses sit wet in the rack overnight, which is just slow motion mineral staining while you sleep. And the fifth is the one that hurts the most: scrubbing an etched glass harder and harder, trying to remove damage that lives inside the glass and cannot be scrubbed off, slowly wearing down a glass that was never going to come back. So the real system is a rhythm, not a single dramatic afternoon. Once a month, give your everyday glasses a short citric acid soak to clear any film before it bakes on. Keep the dishwasher on a gentler heat, loaded loosely. Keep rinse-aid topped up, and whenever you can, dry by hand the moment the water comes off. Do that, and the cloud that used to creep back in a week simply stops returning. Now think about what this costs. A bag of citric acid runs around $3 and lasts for months of soaks. A bottle of vinegar costs even less. Against that sits a new set of glasses at $30, $40, sometimes $60, bought again and again because nobody told you the old ones were never broken. The entire global habit of replacing cloudy glassware rests on a misunderstanding that a $3 powder dissolves in 20 minutes. And that is the deeper idea the Japanese understood long before the rest of us. The cloud on your glass was never dirt. It was time and inattention and water left to dry where it should have been wiped away. Mota. Ainai is not really about the glass at all. It is about noticing the moment something starts to slip and acting before it sets, because the easiest cloud to remove is the one you never let form. A glass you dry today is a glass you never have to rescue tomorrow. So tonight, before you sleep, open that cabinet and pull out the glass you had already given up on. Run the vinegar test, and if it clears, you will know it was never ruined, only neglected. If this changed how you see the things you were about to throw away, subscribe and stay with me, because next time I am showing you the Japanese method for lifting burnt-on residue off a stainless steel pan without scrubbing, without harsh chemicals, and without buying a new one. It is sitting on screen right now. Go watch it.